And we are back. Thanks for staying with us. We have right here on the couch the queen of talk herself, Joyce Daniel. She's the quintessential event host, MC, conference and panel moderator, always stirring, engaging conversations and keeping audiences energized. She's also one of Africa's most sought-after event hosts, hosting successfully over 1,000 high-profile events for companies and institutions across various sectors. She is also the founder of Talkademy. Talkademy. Oh,
That's it.
I see that. It's Africa's premier training school for event host MCs, training over 1,000 masters of ceremonies across Africa. You are welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Thanks for being here, sis.
Guess so.
Queen of talk. How did you get to that point where you became the quintessential herself, Joyce Daniel, the lady, the woman who everyone wants to host their events?
How did I get there? I chose. I made a clear choice in November 2007. So this is going to be 17 years by Monday.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
That is, finally, you're not into the 2 decades.
Almost,
In another
yes.
3 years.
In another 3 years, it'll be 20.
It'll be 20. Ooh.
So it was not a side hustle, not a side gig.
Wow.
It was a full-time job, full-time career, full-time profession. So I always say this to younger people who want to do what I do and are trying to do it as a side gig. You will be successful, but not as successful as me, because this is my full-time job. And anything you do full-time,
you put your heart
you
into
put
it.
all your heart and almost all your eggs in
Yeah,
there.
true.
You tend to do better because, I mean, it's all the time and investment, not just time, but energy, resources, learning, trading, skilling up. So because I made it my full-time job, I got more mileage because I'm constantly improving my skill, marketing, selling my services to the right clients. I have the time for it. I'm focused
We will
on
get
it.
into the marketing aspect of it, because the MC industry, I would say, seems to be an industry based off recommendations.
Yes.
Now we'll get to the marketing aspect of it, but let's sort of piggyback on your history, where you're coming from. You have a science background.
Yes.
Anyone would I mean, I was going through your, I'm like, she actually has a degree in anatomy.
That's it.
That was one course that scared me. It choked me because I did medicine for a couple of years. So that's one of the, it's a life-threatening course for a lot of medical students.
Upper and lower.
I mean, how do you get a degree in that? Field, that course, and then you leave that all behind, and then you go into something that you love to do. I mean, how did you get to that point, that life-changing moment and decision in your life?
Well, not too difficult, I would say, but I once again had to make a choice. Vocation over knowledge, or vocation over
Passion.
what had been learned.
Okay.
Vocation meaning what I do passionately, even without learning too much. What I do with my hands, my voice, my body, vocation.
Okay.
But academic knowledge, some of us got into school because it was a box to tick. You had to go to school, and you were, well, we were influenced of sorts to say, oh, science students, we're the intelligent ones. So we were all inching towards science courses, which is what happened to me and many people. But you know, whilst I was in school, there was a day I went by the Crab where theater arts students performed, and I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be, here or in the communications space, because I was seeing people in linguistics and communications. I was like, what? There was such? They only told us there was medicine and surgery.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the courage
To make that decision
to
there.
switch, because I made the inquiries and I was told I would lose a year. I mean, now in hindsight, like, what's a year? But at that time in school, I didn't have the courage to lose a year in school. No, I would graduate, which is what I did. I got a job after NYSC, but I knew I wasn't feeling myself. I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't complete. I will say, and I put up a video on Instagram today talking about the first time I was on stage, I was 10. The first time I emceed an event, I was 10. It was the First Lady's Children's Concert in Abuja by Mariam Babangida, 1992.
Whoa.
I went there to dance, but the First Lady at the event, on event day, said, why don't we have children MCs? Why do we have adult MCs here? And so Antin Kem of Tales by Moonlight of that day came into the hall where we were preparing to rehearse and said, Olu, Joyce, come here. I have the perfect 2 children who will do it. Would you like to be MCs? I was like, yes, I would love to. So background, I'd been on stage for 15 years as a joke.
Whoa.
From 10, when I got back, people had seen me on NTA and all of that. So it was church calling me to do events. It was friends in school events, miss this, miss that in school. I would be the MC. I was MC at all the NYSC events we had when I served in Maiduguri. So I had some background, but I didn't look to it at that time as a career choice until that 2007, where I quit my job because I was restless. And everybody thought I was crazy. I had an official car straight out of NYSC because I was doing well on the job that I had. And my boss, shout out to him, Mr. Nusim, he believed in me. He gave me great responsibilities and I was doing well, but I wasn't fulfilled. So when I quit my job, everybody was like, so what next? And that's the thing, I didn't know. I had no clue. So I was 7 months out without a job, without an income. But I knew that I would find what I was looking for if I had the space and time. I did a lot of reading. And then somebody invited me to be Master of Ceremonies at a particular event. After the event, I knew
That was it.
that was it.
We need to wrap this up quickly, but let's quickly touch on the marketing aspect of MC. As an aspiring MC, or even those who are doing well in the industry, how do you market yourself? How do we brand yourself, to be that sought after MC?
Let me start by saying that to become a pilot, you go to flying school.
Oh, true.
To become a doctor, you go to medical school. To be on TV, you have to do some training.
Yeah.
So do not ever think that to be a professional master of ceremonies will happen by chance. You will learn. You might need to go to business school to learn the right way to market. I've been to so many business courses because it's a business.
It's a business.
It's not a hobby. That's why I keep saying this is my full-time job. Don't trivialize my job when you think it's just a
Waka pass roll.
yes, flash in the pan. No, treat it as such. If you were going to sell houses or anything else, how would you treat it?
Sure.
That's the same way you treat the commodity of your voice.
Right.
So marketing, referrals, yes, but you learn how to market, you learn how to you learn to go through the process of studying what kind of brand you want and the elements that make up the brand and all the teeny-weeny details so that you can have your media kits, you can have your profiles, you send them into organizations where people
And I know that's
see
what
you
Talk
and get it
Academy
done.
does.
That's what we do at Talk
yes.
Academy.
So I mean, now you've sort of you have kind of geared our minds into another direction. For a lot of people watching right now who have passion for MCing, who are already doing it, public speaking, and amazing. It was such a pleasure having you right here.
Pleasure being here. Thank you.
It was we learned such a lot, such a bit of time. We learned such a lot. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
ma'am.
Thank you, Joyce.